welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Then and Now podcast with me, Leonie Aleshe.
And me, Big Baba.
Babatunde Aleshe.
Big Baba.
Not the little one.
I was going to say something else. But,
it's alright. It's really okay.
To say it's a pod.
Yeah, so don't do too much.
Pod
exactly.
Can't do too much.
And in real life, don't do too
Relax
much.
yourself, man. You're telling me what to do. Remember, I'm your older, you know.
Yeah,
I'm your senior.
You're my senior. No, do you know what? It's true. You are my senior.
Is it?
I'm happy for you getting towards the 40 mark.
I'm happy for myself getting towards that mark. Because you know the thing about it, young people will try and be like, you're nearly 40, and they'll be turning up their nose. I'm just like, my friend, it's either you die young or you grow old.
Yeah,
pick
and
one.
Enjoy life.
Exactly, pick one. So while you're mocking me, my friend, I'm glad to see another year.
And you know what? Life gets sweeter as you get older.
What?
Yeah. Like when I used to hear older people saying that back in the day, I used to think, oh, calm down. Like you're doing, like you're too happy. But now
Life
I get it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Are you alright?
It gets sweeter and sweeter.
Don't get
as
twisted.
The days go by.
I do feel like 30, 31, that was like, yeah, I really enjoyed life.
Yeah,
that was like peak Baba.
Yeah.
But I love getting older, man, because like you said, it gets sweeter every single day.
It does. It does. It's an absolute blessing, especially with your children as well, and like seeing them grow and, you know, seeing them develop, and even with the hard stages, oh my gosh, because none of it is easy, but even with the hard stages, you're just like, like it actually gets better with the years.
Yeah, because they grow more.
Yeah.
And then they start. The only thing I'm happy about children getting older is the fact that they understand more. So that means that there's no excuse. If I tell you something, you know, because
that
you know
you
the
must
difference.
Understand.
Yeah, because you know the difference
you got
between
sense.
Our two children. Our son, he's 8, gonna be 9. So there's no excuse for him now.
Yeah.
You understand exactly what I'm saying, my friend. So when I tell you to stop doing X, Y, Z, stop it. But our daughter now, she's 1.5. She don't know what she's doing. She's just doing.
Yeah, she's just living life.
So there's an excuse there. So, but when he tries to compare, like, oh, but she did it. My friend, are you 1.5? Go and do what I told you to do, my friend. Be getting out of here.
You know, if I was him, I would actually pull that card and see if I can get away with it too.
Nah, not with me. Not with me.
But no, today we're going to be getting into maternity and paternity leave. I don't think this is something we've spoken about before. I don't even think we've touched on the subject of maternity and paternity leave. Because back in the day, I feel like maternity leave was very abrupt. Like when it ended. There was no discussion.
How would you know?
Because our parents would just go back to work.
Yeah.
Like I actually remember like my mum going to work, you know. There wasn't.
Wait, what? As a baby?
Not as a baby, but like when I was younger, I actually I used to go and visit my mum's workplace and stuff like that. Yeah,
I remember doing that. But that's because mum was a single parent. There wasn't a lot of babysitters. I remember being taken to my mum's place of work. It was like, have you seen the film Set It Off?
Yes. Yeah.
You know the kid when he drinks the bleach and stuff like that, when they're all hoovering the place, they're cleaning up the office and stuff. So my mum used to do like clean up the office. Obviously I didn't drink no bleach, but it was like that. That scene reminds me of my childhood because my mum would have to take me to her place of work and be like jamming this office meeting room while I clean up this whole place.
Yeah, that is so funny that you said that because I've never gone to work with my mum as in I had to go with her. We just got to go like on a bring your children to work day. Because in Jamaica, she was a senior nurse and she worked in a hospital and she worked closely with like the doctors and surgeons. So you basically got to go in and visit to see the work that they do and you got to meet like the doctors and the surgeons.
That's a thing in Jamaica?
Yeah. It was like basically just go to work with your parents.
What if if your parents work in like a fast food restaurant? Do they still do that?
No, I don't know, you know. Maybe
come and see the chicken and the burgers and patties them.
Oh no, we did. When she worked in a bakery, we went we went to Captain Bakery. We went there.
The place is called Captain Bakery.
Listen, if you taste the bread at Captain Bakery...
You always say this about Jamaican food.
No, seriously.
I'm starting to feel like you're a liar. Taste the bread. Why don't the rest of the world know about it then, if it's that great?
Or their donuts, like, honestly. But I went there.
Mate, we only want jerk chicken.
No.
Keep the bakery stuff to yourself,
Keep the bread to yourself.
Keep the bread. We got that down packed here in England.
But no,
just like that jerky stuff.
We did. We got to visit. So I don't know if it was all workplaces, but a lot of places.
I would hate to see other people's kids at my place of work. I'd be like, boo, man, I want to see your child, man. Get on with these cases. Start typing.
Someone's talking in your ear.
You want to take over? Is that what you want to do? Come on, sit down. You want to answer this case for me?
No, our son yesterday, we were coming out of his music lessons, and there was a little girl sitting in the office where they opened the door for you to come out, and he was like, why is there a child in there? And I was like, probably because she had to be picked up early by her mum, who hasn't finished work, so she has to be here. So yeah, I suppose it's weird for them to see stuff like that.
Look at her being responsible.
But no, when what I remember of like my mum and my aunties and stuff like that going back to
mum
work.
Again?
My mum.
Why'd you say it like that?
Well, my mum.
My mum. My mum. You Italian?
My mum.
My mum.
My mum.
The fettuccine and my mama and the dad.
It's because I want to go to Italy.
Is that why you're trying to subconsciously plant it in my brain? My mama. She has a jerk of chicken. No, go on.
So silly. But no, they just went back to work, and I'll tell you why. They had childcare. My grandma was home. My grandma was a seamstress, so she worked from home.
I actually that. Oh, today. Sorry, it's because my brain is waking up. Carry on.
She was.
Our producers are laughing. Continue.
Yeah, so she's a seamstress, so really successful one. So she just worked.
How comes
from home.
We ain't heard of her?
Because
she ain't that successful.
Well, this
I'm
was
joking,
in Jamaica.
Babe. Just carry on, babe. Don't ignore me. Remember, my comedy brain is switching on, so
Keep your inner voice inside.
it's probably the ADHD. I don't know if I'm just diagnosing
Please
myself.
stop that. Stop.
No, because everyone's got something now, so I want something. I want something. When the gigs came out the other day, said he has autism. I know I got something.
I think every creative person.
Alcoholism.
You can't even say it. It's really okay. It's really.
That's what I got. Alcoholic.
That looks like alcohol.
It doesn't it? That's why I'm so happy right now. I feel like I'm on the block.
Too excited.
You know what I'm saying? While you're talking, carry on. I'm just gonna be
doing
like this.
Too much.
Yeah, carry on.
Doing too much. But so they just went back to work because she was at home. She was able to look after the children. They didn't have to bat an eyelid about childcare. They didn't have to think about who's going to look after the children, who's going to drop them to school or anything like that. All they had to worry about was making sure that our uniforms were obviously the material was bought because my grandma would make it. Our school fees were paid and we went to school.
Your school uniforms in Jamaica, you lot use too much starch spray.
That is because your uniform has to be sharp.
Yeah, sharp, but not like dangerous. You
No.
don't take out someone's eye with them shoulders pointing. You don't use cardboard
Chris,
for shirts, man.
When you use
that's
starch.
how crisp they were.
When you use starch.
Yeah, you don't use too much starch.
But remember, we look after our stuff with extra care because you didn't have a lot of money to buy more. You know, so that's how you made sure that you presented yourself well. Yeah, by being sharp. But no, they didn't have to worry about childcare back in the day. Obviously, it's different for you though here because you didn't have your mum, as an example, didn't have her mum here.
Family,
yeah. So what was that like?
You know what? It was all right because we had neighbours that were Nigerian that my mum got to know really, really well. So they became like aunties and uncles and things like that. So I remember the block of flats we lived in Hackney. I remember going to my auntie's house sometimes, or her picking me up from school and me just jamming with them while my mum worked like her second job. And then when my mum would get back, sometimes we'd go back upstairs to our house, and then, you know, if that wouldn't work, then we'll go downstairs to my auntie. Or there was another lady, I don't know her name, but it was a white lady, and sometimes we'd sleep at theirs.
Wow.
Yeah, so we had neighbours that would like help out. You know what I'm saying?
Because I guess them times, most people were in the same boat.
Well, in the same boat. This was like, you know, late 80s, early 90s. And then, but that was really nice when we were in Hackney. But then when we moved to Tottenham, none of that.
There was no...
that went out the window.
Yeah, no community.
There was crackheads everywhere. You weren't going to leave your children with them.
Oh my
God. I'll take care of him. Yeah. Come on, son. Let's go around.
No, because my brothers were older than me.
Yeah.
So in Jamaica, we had my grandma. We had, you know, like my mum has like loads of sisters, so they would then obviously all like take turns to look after us if it's like the summer holidays or whatever. Like you'd spend some time at your auntie's in like another area with your cousins, and then all your cousins would come to you, and I guess that's how they did. I feel like I need to talk to her about that, like what they actually did. But because we all went to each other's houses for stints of time, like throughout the summer. But I don't know if it was just because we were hanging out or if it's because of work. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, got you.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how we grew up, like so close, and like always enjoyed each other's company and all of that. And I got to spend a lot of time with my boy cousins because I was the first girl. They were all older than me, so I got to spend a lot of like uninterrupted time with them, which was lovely.
Yeah. And they're really cool.
Yeah, they're so cool, man. But then when we came here, exactly as you said, we were in Tottenham as well. Yeah, there was no, there's childcare. There's no. It was literally just us. So my brothers would be the ones looking out for me. But obviously they were older than me. Yeah. So they were allowed by that time to look after me. Yeah. And yeah, my mum would just be going to work. Like she'd be working 2 to 3 jobs.
Hated that.
Yeah.
I hated that.
Yeah. I cried so much.
I cried because I was a baby. Yeah. So I'd cry, and I used to leave the house to go and find her.
Oh my gosh, tell me that story.
Yeah, no, that's what I would do. So my sister would literally turn around and I'd be gone.
Oh my God.
I'd open the door, and I remember my uncle caught me and he lost his mind. Yeah, I remember it was late as well. It was late night, and I remembered this so much. I went into the youth center.
Yeah.
But it was a youth center, but also there was like it's weird. There was like a pub. It was like a social center type of thing. Yeah. I don't think I can call it a youth center. This was like Hoxton.
Okay.
In Hoxton. So I've wandered in there, and I remember I'm there, and the woman was just like, "Oh God, this kid again," kind of thing.
What?
Yeah, because I would always go there. So she gave me a Ribena, and this guy was just looking at me like, what is going on here? Like, why is this child just out? Like, it was dark outside. So I've wandered out, and then my uncle, he's walking down the road, he see me, he's like, Tunde, and he went crazy. He's taking me back to.
So sad.
Yeah, but I was 4.
Why did you wander out?
I was looking for my mum.
Why did you just stay where she told you?
You can't tell a 4-year-old just to jam, and remember, all we know is mum, dad. So like when my mum's not home, and I'm just like, where's mum? You know
so you thought, if I go outside, I'll find her.
Like I was going to let me just go find her. You know where I was going?
Where?
I was trying to get to Dawston, because I remember, you know, the mural in Dawston of like the carnival. Mm-hmm. So my mum used to work in an office near there. She used to clean an office near there, because I remember seeing that every time being
you
taken to a place of work.
Yeah.
So my whole thing was, let me get
God.
there. Like, once I see the mural, that's it, I'm good. But can you imagine, from Hoxton to Dawston, that's a bop. Plus, I didn't even know where I was going.
Yeah, exactly. So you would
hilarious.
just end up at that community centre place every time. I wouldn't have
made it to Haggerston, bruv. I would have made it. I wouldn't have made it past O Street. It would have been. Yeah, just
see. Yeah. This is the thing that I think people don't really know, right? When it comes to the what it's like being a child of a parent that migrated here. Yeah. The experience is completely different. It is so literally day and night to somebody that's born here, raised here, and has the privileges of, let's say social security. It's not called social security here, it's called benefits and stuff like that, or already has an upper hand in terms of having a family that has money. Or they're in a position where they were able to establish their lives really early on. Because when I think of it, my mum came here when she was 27.
Same. No, my mum came here when she was 24.
24, yeah. And your mum's 10 years older than my mum.
Yeah.
So obviously they were the same age in terms of their actual entry here. Yeah. But I'm thinking by then you already had 3 children. You moved to another country. And I'm thinking, when I was 27, I didn't even know my left from my right still. Oh. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I just about knew what I wanted to do and where I was going, and I was raised here.
You know, the funniest thing is, most of the people that had, and I'd say black people, that had it decent here, they were second generation.
Yeah.
In terms of my friends. Yeah, second generation. And so there was a big difference between the way they lived and I lived.
Yeah,
I used to go to some of my friends' house and be like, right, you got a house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where the rest of us were flats or masonette and all them type of things, or flat share and them nonsense there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a huge gulf. But in terms of childcare, you know, the thing that gets on my nerves the most is the allotted time men, or should I say fathers, get for paternity.
Oh my god.
Was it 2 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah, it is 2 weeks. Most companies is 2 weeks. But then also now women are only getting statutory maternity pay.
Break that down.
So statutory maternity pay is where your workplace doesn't pay you
full amount all the time. Oh, that's rude.
They pay you 6 weeks, I think, at 90%, and then you get paid the equivalent of about just under £200 a week.
Their argument would be you don't get paid for having babies.
Yeah, but at the same time,
because if me and you would have 10 right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You're doing too much.
No, carry on.
It's so silly. So yeah, you get paid
have kids
the
running around the podcast.
Of...
Hey, come on. Sit down. Daddy and mummy are working. Relax. Carry on. Mashing up this whole studio.
That literally be no podcast.
Just heavy editing, you know.
Yeah. Background sound, all the.
Just chop, chop, chop. Then have to piece together a sentence through chopping. God.
Listen, there's parents working like that now, I'm telling you. But yeah, the statutory maternity is crazy, because it's for some people it's not even the equivalent of a quarter of what they earn monthly. So to maintain their lifestyles is almost non-existent.
You wanting kids, isn't it? You have one and you be like, I'm never throwing
back. Because imagine not having any idea of, all of that stuff, because most people don't, by the way. When you get pregnant, you don't actually know all of these things. You just know, I really want to have a child. But you don't know what comes with that part of things, if that makes sense.
You know what, yeah. Because of everything, putting that into consideration when it comes to work. You know, if I went back to work for a day, I'd punch up bare man.
Why?
Because of stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's not that they don't even put those things in place.
They're the ones that tell me.
It's the government.
I'll punch up their government. Everyone have to hold a tongue.
But it's for me, I think what puts parents off is the shock of what? Like, why didn't I know this before? Because it's not something that's like commonly known. Like, most people don't even know what statutory maternity is. They probably just think, yeah, I get maternity pay. And they get pregnant and, you know, realise, first of all, there's a criteria that you've got to meet. You know, you've got to be working for the company for a set amount of weeks and days before you're even eligible for the company's maternity. And then if you're not, then you get statutory.
So even if you're a permanent member of staff?
Yeah, but let's say, for instance, I got pregnant now and I was in our previous company, but I only started, I started working there less than 17 weeks ago. They're not responsible for my maternity. So even if it was 16 weeks and 4 days,
pass probation.
you've got to pass probation and get past like their like pay period. Yeah,
that's so rude.
Yeah.
So you got to work and stack.
Exactly.
And your husband has to do overtime. And
exactly.
he don't get. And again, that 2 weeks, I remember with our son, I got 2 weeks and that was it. I was back to work.
Yeah.
And I was miserable because I was just like, well, I kind of just want to hang out with my son.
Yeah.
And I've got this stupid manager in my face telling me about a case I don't care for.
Yeah.
That doesn't change my life. And somewhat like a couple of people in my team that I just want to ram their face into. That's what I suffer with, anger. No, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's like 2 weeks is not enough.
Yeah.
That's why when we had our daughter, obviously I was on tour.
Yeah.
Obviously, but this is coming from a privilege.
But people were so understanding.
Yeah. When I said I'm taking a 3-month break from my tour, and I will, you know, rebook these dates and, you know, reschedule them. And if you can't make it, that's fine. But I got to be there for my wife. Yeah. You know, and I took 3 months, and that was the best decision I ever made. Yeah. Because you got a lot of sleep. You got that rest that you needed. Oh my gosh, I needed that. Yeah. And I bonded a lot with my daughter, which was the main thing. I was doing skin to skin every day. Minute of the day. She got to know that my smell, but she was just like, "Yep, that's daddy." Because I couldn't do that with my son. Yeah,
it's true. And you guys had to bond in a different way, but I suppose it's that thing of like knowing the two extremes for us, having had our son and seeing what that was like, where you only had the 2 weeks, to having the option with our daughter. Even for the mum, like, that support is everything. Do you know what I mean? If there are mums and dads that are together at that time, like the dad being able to support in that area is such a huge thing. But there is also this thing of paternity leave, obviously being 2 weeks, but you also have the shared parental leave option as well.
In this country?
Yeah.
For how long?
So you can split it however you want. So I think I think altogether it's you have the full year, but it's you have the full year. So as an example, let's say you worked for a company and I worked for a company, right? You could take 6 months, I think it is, from your company on you know, their maternity pay structure. So whatever their maternity pay is, you would receive that. And then I could take 6 months. So after 6 months, then you would go back to work, and then I would take over, or vice versa. And I could have the full 6 months paid from my company as well. Cool. But there's not a lot of men taking it up as an option.
Yeah, because they don't want to be at home with the women, bro. You know, shouting.
No, we won't be there. We'll be back at work.
Can't you just do it together?
No.
But if we worked at 2 different companies, how are they going to know?
Because
how would they know?
Like, how would they know? Nobody's going to know.
Nobody's going to know. They're going to know. No, for real. Why can't you do that?
So, because I think they communicate between them. So if you said that's
what if it's like McDonald's and Burger King? They're rivals. They're not gonna communicate. It'd be pick up the phone. Who's this? McDonald's. Bitch ass. Get off my phone. That's like Bloods and Crips. They are not communicating.
No. So I think it's like you then have to involve like the government in order to basically make
involve the government. This ain't freaking.
Yeah,
what do you think this is?
No, you do. So
the government gotta get involved.
Yes, because if
they weren't working out trade deals.
No, it is a trade deal. They want to see how long they can keep you away from your children for. So listen, this is how it goes. You take your half. And I take my half, but when I go back, you're off, and when I'm off, you're back, or however it goes. Yeah. So I've seen people do it where they take. I think they can take the time together as well. So as an example, I could take extended unpaid time from work, and then you would take your paternity leave, and we could both be off at the same time and go off in the sun traveling for like 4 to 5 months at a time. I'll do that.
Of course you do. You that love holiday.
But it does sound like a really, really good option, even though it's not that widely used in our culture. And I think financially it makes sense, because instead of getting 9 months worth of paid leave, you could get you could get the 12 months, isn't it? Yeah, because it's 6-6. But I don't know. But I suppose some people are like fearful of their positions, because obviously when you go on maternity, someone else is filling your role for a while, and for women, we probably don't care as much as a man.
No,
you think some women care?
Men don't care as well. What Larry? He don't know how to tie his own shoelaces. That's what I'll be like. He's an idiot. What's he gonna do?
He can't take my role.
I could take 6 years off, come back, he'd still be an idiot. I'm gone, blood. I don't care. Or should I put it? That's probably me. I don't care. I couldn't care less. Trust me, I will leave. Where we used to work, I would leave my post in a heartbeat. Someone else is gonna fill my role. Ooh. Great. Let them do it, bro.
Let them have it.
Yeah, let them have it. I couldn't care less. I hope you fry by it, my guy.
But yeah, some people do have that thing of like that fear of, oh my gosh, like I don't want to lose my role, or I don't want to, someone else to like fill my position and then be better than me at that role, and then I'm not necessarily wanted back in the role, and so on. Depending on the politics, in their workplace, it can be
this
something.
This is why I hated The Office, man.
Yeah.
These are the reasons why I hate The Office, man. You know when people used to get awards at The Office, and they'd be really happy to receive it, I used to look at them like, oh, you need a life.
Yeah.
I was like, this is bad. Like,
like really, they live for work.
I was like, you really think like this is like an actual award? And all these pizzas that they brought out, you think it's for you? I was like, yeah, have it. Most valuable employee of the month goes to Steven, and Steven's there. Oh, look at that guy crazy. I used to be like, bro, you need a wife. That's what you need.
Yeah, that's
you need
true.
A wife, my guy.
That's true. Have some responsibility at home. But no, I think it's stuff like, do you think that men don't take up the paternity leave because they just think this is too much responsibility at home? Because like, if I wasn't there and you were there,
it's hard for me to put myself in another man's shoes because I like being at home.
Yeah.
Like, but obviously I love working. Yeah. But I like to help out with the children. Because I love children. I love my children. So, that's hard. They might think that. Some men might just want to get away from the house because it's a bit too much. Yeah. Dealing with the wife, dealing with
But if the wife's not going to be there and you're the person getting solely the baby up, looking after the baby all day, cleaning, cooking,
a newborn, that's amazing.
Washing.
Yeah, no, that's calm.
Lack of sleep, waking in the night with them, waking in the day with them.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard.
But is that harder than going out to work?
No, going to work is easy.
Exactly.
Going to work is so easy.
Is that why men choose it? That's what I'm asking.
Most likely.
Or is it out of fear of not knowing what to do?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. My question is, would you stay home for 6 months with the baby?
Yes. Me.
When the baby is 6 months old and I've gone back to work.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
And you'll wash.
Me. Pony.
You'll wash.
Pony. Me.
Alright, let's have another baby.
But don't shake my hand because don't do that because I was there telling you the other day, let's have a baby and you're there. Get out of my face, man. No way. Get out of here. Plus.
No, you've said it now.
No, he can edit this. You don't make the same money as me. So you working, you bring in this chicken change. What am I doing with that? I bought £500 back.
What do you mean?
£500, you better get out there and shake your ass.
£500 a day.
Better get on that block, sell them drugs.
It's so silly. But no, still. Okay, so that's what you're saying. Men won't because they're the higher earner.
No, that's not every man's a higher earner. I'm talking about our dynamic.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. But I think men don't because of the stress of it all.
Yeah.
Getting up, feeding, all of that. I think that's why guys probably don't.
It's easier to go to work, basically. Yeah.
Remember how tired you would be and how tired I would be, and I'd be like, it's nothing, man.
Yeah.
And I'd go.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I just used to power through it, but I don't have your body and how your body functions like after you had a child.
Yeah, you don't have the maternal instincts.
No. It's not just that. It's how women's body is designed. You guys are mash up after having a baby, and rightfully so. You just pushed out a whole human being. Like your body is not. It still needs to recover.
Yeah.
All I did was nut.
You're so stupid.
I'm like mash up for like 2 minutes.
You're so silly.
After that, I'm ready to go again. Yeah, come in.
No.
Round 2.
These times we're pregnant for 10 months, not 9. Pregnant for 10 months. Then you've got to recover. Then your child is slapping you left, right, and centre with waking up.
Climbing on my head.
Yeah, opening your eyelid to see if you're there. Like, you can literally see me laying here. I'm right here. Staring into your face.
Oh, our son used to do that. Proper yank my eye open.
Yeah, Dad.
Yeah, remember? He'd be
Dad.
Like, Dad. And I'm asleep. I'll be like, are you all right, bro?
And when you get conscious, you're like, what is going on here? And
why
then
would you think to wake me up?
Are you awake? They'll say, are you awake? Yeah. Are you awake?
Do I look awake? That's why now I don't care. The way I yank that quilt off of him when it's time to go to school, I'm just like, you don't need this, my friend. Wake up. And when he gets upset, I'm like, yes.
You're so wicked.
Yeah, I don't care. I honestly, babe, I don't
He's
care.
so used to it now, though. He's
still hates
not
it.
Dad waking me up.
Our son hates
He prefers for me to wake him
fully,
up.
because
100%.
you do this fairy nonsense.
Yeah, you have to rub their back.
Open your eyes, little one. Bro, get up, bro. Lucky I don't.
Time to work.
I wake him up in the most abrupt way.
Yeah.
I love it.
I hate it. Do you remember when he woke him up with that toy?
Yeah.
The dancing one. He was
hilarious.
fuming. He was absolutely fuming.
He was crying.
But no.
I was crying because I was laughing so much.
But do you think stuff like, knowing, alright, let's say you were home, for 6 months with the baby, changing nappies, getting them dressed. Actually, you get them dressed quite good. Getting them dressed, planning their activities that you're going to do.
See the planning the activities thing?
Packing a packed lunch.
I would fail there.
Yeah.
Again, packed lunch. I'd fail there.
Yeah.
Let's go get some chicken and chips. Bro.
Yeah, no, they'll literally have chicken and chips every day.
Let's go get kebab. What you get? What, a 9-month-old?
And they've got no teeth.
Yeah.
And they've only just been weaned onto food.
Buy them a doner wrapper. me? That's where I would fail. That's why you're like you.
Yeah.
Built for that part.
Yeah.
I'm not built for that. I'm all about vibes.
Yeah, but do you know what? There are so many dads that like. So I know like quite a few people that like co-parent and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they really like the dads really take on that role of like, yeah, you know, she's with me. And my days that I have her.
And
like,
then I'm like, so how
things.
comes you're responsible when it comes to taking care of the baby? You can't fix your brain to take care of your partner. Just use that part of your brain and do the same for your partner then, you idiot. But you know how to co-parent. Use your brain, bro. Oh, the baby, yeah. You, yeah. Like, what?
The thing is, I'm always like that. I'm always like, whoever the culprit is that caused like the breakup or for things not to work out, I'm like, how do you still know how to parent, but you don't know how to look after this person or to be, you know, what they need in order for you to be together to parent?
Yeah.
You don't use your brain.
Use your brain, my friend. You know, just fix your brain. Come on.
It's so funny. I'd actually have that conversation with my dad. So funny. But in places like Sweden, they get 480 days shared leave.
How much is that in years,
and
my friend? I'm not doing no maths.
I don't know. Gosh, there's 356 days in it. So about a year.
A year and a bit.
A year and a half they get.
Year and a
basically.
Half, yeah. That is fantastic.
Yeah, and it's probably closer to 2 years if weekends and that aren't included in that, I guess. Because that may be working days.
That's dope.
Yeah. And it's actually shared leave. So dads are expected to take time off as part of the culture. So their culture says, yep, dads take this time off as well. It's not just the mums. They must feel so supported.
That's fantastic.
Can you imagine, like, being parents and not having to think of anything else but being a parent for, let's say, a year of being parents together?
Honestly, that's the dream world I would love to live in.
Do you know what I'd love to know? What the ratio of mum and dads that stay together after a baby is born, like, into the relationship, compared to other places, because I think that must help them a lot.
Yeah.
To grow together in that and communicate and all of that.
Yeah. That's dope.
Brilliant. Yeah. All right, Japan. Japan's paternity leave is available but culturally unused.
Yes, the Japanese are very strict.
Yeah.
As a nation.
And the men are like quite... But I think both the men and the women are quite focused on work there. Yeah. Like the women, once they're working, like they're working. And they work like long hours and stuff, right? Yeah. USA, they've got no standard basically. So have your baby, have your baby on your lunch break.
Are you taking them?
No, it's true, because remember, the women go back after 12 weeks. Some of them after 6 weeks.
After 12 weeks?
Yes, and it doesn't matter if you've had a C-section or a vaginal birth.
This is why I couldn't live there, you know.
I couldn't do it. I genuinely would have mental health like issues. I would, because how I couldn't even function properly after 13 months off of work.
Yeah, I remember.
Imagine 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
That is insane.
And then what you got to do with your child? You got to put them in like a nursery or...
Yeah, you put them in daycare.
No way. Yeah. No way.
So the mums continue to pump milk. And then you take it with them to their daycare.
I saw a video yesterday. It must be old. It is old. Of basically a daycare. They found 25 children in a basement.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the woman... and the way they hid the basement... Like, the police came over and they were just like, we've been getting reports of, like, crying and... you know, screaming and all of this kind of stuff.
So where did they get these babies from?
People who had, you know, it's a daycare, but it was in a house, right? And so they were just like, so it's from other parents and stuff, but they, they hid the babies in the...
So why did they have them in the basement?
Pony, you asking me?
And where were the parents that needed
Pony,
the
you
children
asking me?
back?
I still need to watch the rest of the video because I was vexed. But stuff I'm just saying.
I don't understand why the government doesn't do it so that parents get to be home with their children for the length of time. Yeah, for the length of time that they need to be, which is like a year and a half, with full pay. And then they don't need to go into childcare until they're 1.5,
This government doesn't care about.
It can thrive from there. Like, what is this
government don't care about? All they care about is tax, my guy. It's this, my friend. Have you paid your tax? What's that thing they call in the ends?
Partner.
No.
What?
A manner extortion.
That's
it. I know that's what it is. They just extort people.
Honestly,
so
it's
my
wild.
friend, get yourself back to work so I can take that money from you.
But going back to it, it's like, why do dads feel awkward taking the time off?
What, to be with the child?
Yeah.
I don't feel awkward. I love it.
Yeah.
That's I might be different from other men. So guys, you got to comment and let us know.
Yeah.
Put that in the comment section. Let us know why it is that you might feel awkward or not. If you don't, just comment. Just give us some. But I don't. I don't. I do. Anytime I get to get off and stay with the family, what? Me?
Yeah. The number one enjoyed it.
What do you mean?
But the thing is, many families can't afford shared leave even when it's available,
and that stops people from having children, which to me doesn't make anyway. Calm down, but it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
it really doesn't. All right, why would you not? It's not like we're having bare babies. Like I think I saw a thing like the statistics of like children nowadays. It's going down. People are having less children nowadays. People are just having maybe like one child and calling it quits.
Yeah.
Right.
But the thing is, like, even for us, like, after 2 children, even though we come from like families that are quite big, and having more children is something that actually would probably be something that appeals to us. The idea of having more, you do start to think of, gosh, like, can I afford to do the same things and give them all the same equal opportunities?
Well, look at the
do you know what I mean?
Look at the nonsense we buy. It's not okay. My mum, she comes from a big family, just like yours. It's 10 altogether, right? 6 sisters, 4 brothers, right? But in Nigeria, back then, yes, you had school, but it's really agriculture.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? You go into a trade or something like that. And again, when it comes to the food, they're eating like,
they're eating from the ground.
They're eating from the ground, and fresh produce and all them type of things. So you're not going to the supermarket and a bag of lettuce or whatever cabbage costs like $4.89 or some nonsense like that, and that's eating into your paycheck. No, that's not how they're living.
Yeah,
it's so different. And now we've been drawn into this market and way of doing things that just again, paying for stuff, childcare, or just paying for food, or paying for just bills in general, stops you from going, let's have another one, because it's just like, I actually can't afford another child. Not that children are expensive, but to like, on top of everything else, that headspace, and I can't afford that. So everything the child does becomes a chore in itself, like changing nappies and the way children are, the behavior, how erratic they are, and then we go, oh, they might have something wrong with them. It's just like, remember, that's a baby right there. That's a child.
This is how they're actually meant to process and operate. They're meant to be chaotic. They don't know what they're doing.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with them. Yes, in some cases, right?
And then I know of cases of like people actually diagnosing their children with different types of things like ADHD, ASD, and all of this stuff, just because they don't actually have the time for them to be children. Does that make sense?
And that's the thing I had to get myself out of.
Because of the pace of our society.
No, but that's the thing I had to get myself out of. I remember when I clocked, I said, hold on. This is with our son. I was like, this is a child you are dealing with.
They're meant to process.
They don't have your adult rationale that they're going to be like, sit down and not move. I remember how I was when I was a youth. I wanted to play. And when I clocked that, I was just like, oh my big man, go and play. And just don't mash up my things.
But no, it's crazy. Because of the fact, there are families that can't afford, to
do
have
you know
that
anyone
leave.
who went back to work early?
Yeah, I know mums that have gone back to work as early as 6 weeks.
Oof.
In the UK, not even in America, in the UK, they've gone back to work as early as 6 weeks. They've had to get a nanny in, so a nanny comes and looks after the child there.
It takes all your paycheck.
Well,
takes your full paycheck.
It's so crazy whilst they work, and it makes sense because the extra that they have, they're able to put towards their mortgage, or they're able to put towards savings, or they're able to put towards being able to go on holiday and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so they think, that's actually doable. It makes sense just because of the small extra that I have at the end, But the amount that they pay out is absolutely insane. For me, the difference between our son and our daughter, with our son, I went back when he was 10.5 months.
Yeah,
I went back to work, and I had to go back full time because I was a contractor, so you couldn't get part-time hours at the time as a contractor.
Yep.
So I went back full time, and that for me, like, that feeling.
Remember that conversation?
Oh my god!
I remember I was coming home and I was just like, I can't afford to look after you and our child on this amount of money a month. It was so bad. Yeah. It was so bad. And I remember when I was just like, I kind of need you to come back to work. Yeah. I felt like an idiot saying that. But I had to, because
it was the wise thing to do.
It was the wise thing, but it was annoying.
Yeah, and I remember it's not what we wanted.
I was so vexed because it was just like what I was earning at that job. Yeah. I couldn't support a family with that.
100%. And it's recognizing that that's actually most parents in this day and age now, where the two parents have to be working in order to be able to make ends meet, or break even for the month. Two parents have to be working, yes, because of how much we consume in terms of a society, but also just in general, that I wouldn't blame expensive.
On consumerism. Because it's not like we're getting our paycheck and going, man's getting Louis Vuitton. No, because you have a family. Yeah. But just being responsible.
Yeah, like just the cost of living. Yeah.
It's not doable.
Yeah.
Some people will say that how do I phrase this? Should there be like a pay rise for men in general, so that if that does happen, they're able to cover the cost? But then, obviously, if there's men and women that choose not to have children, so we have to have equal pay. Yeah. But what I'm basically trying to get at is, how do we fix that problem?
See, the thing is, I don't know.
Sorry, quickly, because people will tell you to work hard. What they will tell you in this country is, if you work hard, you earn more, therefore you can do more. Yeah. But we know that's
no, because then you get less time with your children that you're meant to be raising.
Yeah, that's not the case.
Yeah. Yeah, you get less time with the children you're meant to be raising, so that can't be the answer. I do think that there's more that can be done in terms of the actual maternity and paternity pay, so that people are able to take that time without having to bat an eyelid. And I think that's something, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not into politics or anything, so I don't know.
Because what we're getting at here is how important it is for both parents to be present in the home. Yes, go out and work, earn your money, provide. But your child needs you.
Yeah, they do.
Need to. Children especially learn culture through their first point of understanding culture is through the mother. Yeah, it is 100%, because you are with them most of the time, especially when you're nursing them at the beginning, whether through just bottle or breastfeeding or whatever. They learn, and then from then on, it's like, they understand family and structure, and that's my dad, that's mummy, or whatever, however the household is set up. And so, yeah, children need their parents, man.
Yeah.
They need their parents, and that's all we're getting at, you know?
Yeah.
And we want to make sure parents get that time with their children too.
I still I'm quite old school in my thinking of like the types of roles that I wish all women had the opportunity to fulfill. I wish all women had the opportunity to fulfill roles that were flexible, right? And gave them the chance to kind of choose their schedules and their times, especially postpartum. I genuinely still believe that is a thing. So even if a woman's, as an example, in a senior role, you know, for a huge company or whatever, I believe that, you know, when it comes to maternity leave, she should be able to have that comfortable thing of taking, as an example, the full year with a slightly extended period of time without having to worry about her job or how she's going to get back to it. Because it does take some time for your body and your mind to even get back into that space. For me, I'm big on personal development, and I'm hugely into personal development.
I think you know what? I agree with you.
Yeah.
I actually agree with you. And I hate the fact that you've got people that go, well, you go through that, but we don't go through that. And I'm talking about men that say that. That is annoying because it's like, well, we don't have a womb.
Yeah. So why would you go through it?
But the difference is I think what it is they're looking at the difference between how both are treated.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, we're not treated equally. And I think in this case, equality kind of doesn't come into it. You can't bring that into this argument, you know? Because you still have to look at yourself, especially fathers.
Yeah.
You kind of have to look at yourself as the other half of what they're going through.
Yeah, exactly.
So if they do need that extended period of time off, even if that's not your wife, understand that because you two, that benefits you when it comes to your wife as well.
Exactly.
If you want to, you know, have children.
Yeah.
But
I think as well, like seeing the difference. So when I went back at 10 and a half months, and I left work at 2 weeks, 2 weeks to my due date, I went off work with our son, and then I returned when he was 10 and a half months. With our daughter, I was in a completely different situation, having built up my business, and I was in a position to go on maternity leave 3 months prior to my due date. The best lead up to birth ever. I had time to prep. I had time to mentally prepare, physically prepare. I was able to exercise, have a baby moon comfortably, prepare her things, and it was completely different. And then at the end of it, have an extended maternity leave. So not only did I have the year, but I then had an additional 6 months off before deciding whether or not I wanted to go back to work. And that physically, emotionally, mentally.
Yes, you say all of that. I need to put a compilation.
I was still a crazy person.
No, I need to put a compilation of you sleeping. You going upstairs, I'm just going to put her down, and then all I can hear is snoring from downstairs.
Have you seen that thing from Peppa Pig when it's like, Miss Rabbit is dead? Miss Rabbit is dead. Literally. What? Basically, it's talking about
Miss Rabbit died?
No, she didn't die. Right, it's basically mums, right, trying to get through any kind of activity whilst pregnant or postpartum. You're literally tired. You're so exhausted. You might as well, you sleep at every opportunity.
Did they put that in the actual cartoon?
Yeah, of course it is.
That's in the actual episode. Miss Rabbit is dead.
Yeah.
What kind of traumatic script is that? What? This is why I don't like Peppa Pig.
But that's how mums feel postpartum.
I get it though, because you slept.
Listen, I was tired, and it was all of the C-section medication and stuff. Yeah,
it made sense.
Yeah, I was exhausted, so I can't imagine having done it any other way, and I wouldn't want to do it any other way now. Yeah. But yeah, it's been interesting seeing all of the different stats from different places, and I do think there's a lot of work. There are lots of people though doing work towards this on, you know, like Instagram, and people that are actually going into Parliament and having these conversations.
I
and
think we need to definitely change our approach.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to parenting, pregnancy, I think we need to start looking at each other as partners in the true sense of the word.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I do think that we need to stop looking at each other from the perspective of, oh, man and woman, and being separate of that, and start seeing that actually
together.
We're one, right? We're actually one, so it benefits the woman, and it benefits you because you know, as the man as well, that she gets that time, you know, and that you get that time as well if you're gonna do the shared thing. But
and it's understanding that as parents you do have the opportunity to be able to support each other in different ways if you are able to have this time together as well. But like seeing the difference between the two, you know, from when we had our son to when we had our daughter, having, you know, more flexible careers now. And I would say with me being in the field, I think that's geared more towards women, that gives you that flexibility and freedom to be around for the children more. You being in a field that takes you away for longer periods of time, but when you're home you get to be home and you get to be present. That's definitely a difference in our careers. But the reality is most people are living the reality of what we what we used to when we had our son, you know. So hats off, man, if you're in that position and currently navigating that. But this is such a good topic. I'm glad we got to delve into this today. It's been the Then and Now podcast with me, Leonie Aleshe.
Me, Babatunde and Leonie Aleshe. Peace out. Cool.